Hello, YouTube. So this will be day 4 of the Vlogmas 2019. And as you saw, this is just kind of a happenstance. I was thinking about this topic and going, well, I don't know for dreams and goals what necessarily I have. But I found this jar when I was clearing off my dresser. And this is not like a dream jar of like, oh, I had a dream last night, so I'm going to put it in the jar. I don't even know all of what's in here. I checked a couple. So there is a chance that if I come across something that's a little bit personal, I will just skip it and it will go back into the jar. But I thought it would be an interesting and fun kind of take on today's topic. So these are older ones. Honestly, I haven't been necessarily using this jar, so I don't know how old they are. Probably at least a year or so. But I still thought it would be a fun take on things. So here we have a dream. It's my ideals on things, right? So a daily tarot draw. What I did is I took scraps of paper and I actually wrapped them around a pen to make them little scrolls. And then I just popped it off the pen and put them in the jar, and they're like cute little scrolly things in there. So one was a daily tarot draw. I did that for a while. I have not been doing it recently. This one is not to worry about money worries taken care of. That one's working out. Not fully there, but it's still working out. Peace and serene, clean and uncluttered downstairs matches the upstairs. Again, that's a work in progress. They do not, they match right now in the fact that they are fairly cluttered, but it is a thing I've been working on. You can even see I have towels behind me. I've been working on folding laundry. It's daily stuff. You never hit a spot. There's no click point. I've tried various methods. But, there's always something to do. This one has pump the septic tank. You know what? That one happened. That can go out. That one happened. We had, last year, I believe. Ha 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 ha. This one's funny. This one's really funny. So the septic tank was taken care of last summer, I believe. So we've got a couple of good years on that. We had a new drainage field put in, so that's taken care of. They're small. They're not all. They don't all have to be big dreams that go in this little jar. I'm gonna try and implement this again. Put it somewhere at my desk so I can just do this for a manifestation tool. This one has a good Goodwill outlet run, and those have happened quite a bit. Recently, it's been less outlet and more just Goodwill runs because I like thrifting. But we have a Goodwill outlet, which is really cool because if you buy clothes, it's like by the pound, and the more you buy, the less it costs you per pound. It's kind of cool. It's all as is stuff, but it's still kind of cool if you want different clothes and such. So I'm going to set that one aside as that one has come true, manifested, whatever. House feels like the practical magic house. That's all the vibe. That one's going to go back in the jar because I feel like that's a work in progress goal. I feel like certain things match, other things don't, other things won't ever because it is going to be, my house isn't the practical magic house. It's an old dusty house that does get dust on it. For those of you who've read the books, you know that the house didn't collect dust. It's like magic or something. This one is peace and order. That one goes along with the other house goal. That's also a work in progress. I have teenagers in the house, so peace and order is a fleeting thing. That one's private. It's going to go back in the jar. That was one from my husband added to it. Doing more Reiki. This is one I could definitely do more of. I'm pretty decent at doing it, but I'd still like to do a little bit more of a daily thing with my Reiki. Happiness, that's always a goal, isn't it? To maintain happiness. So that's going back into the dream jar. This one has come and gone. I don't know if I'm going to put it back into the jar or not. I didn't actually have this one happen. Salt and Peppa was in town and I wanted to go to their concert, and I didn't end up going to the concert. I think I chose other things, but it's, you know, I'm okay with that not having happened. And this one is classes go well. Back in the time when we were doing different workshops and things, this was for the classes that I did for them to go well. I was hoping to manifest them going, smoothly, remembering things. I'm going to put that one back in the jar because even though I'm not necessarily doing classes right now, that is a goal, is to get that going again and to have fun with that. So I want them to go well. And this one kind of goes, this was one my hubby put in. It says financial independence. We are in a good spot, but this is still something to be worked on, I think. So that's going back into the jar. I have other things that I need to add to this because I would like to add things like the community center that we're working on, things like that. I may actually take this into our meeting so we can all put that in there and kind of work for that. I haven't had this kind of working. I would have had maybe taken things out. I don't know, maybe they did get taken out and I just don't remember doing that. I've joined a coven. That was a big goal of mine for a long time that didn't feel like it was going to work out. I eventually would like to have my own working coven of some sort. That's more of a long-term goal. My high priestess knows that's sort of my end game with this. I don't know if that's going to end up being a taking over an existing or hiving off and having my own. I'm not sure at this point. We'll see. That's to be decided. Sort of churchy stuff, although some of that has, again, actually happened in roundabout sort of manners because we are an ATC affiliate, and that officially makes our coven a church. So yeah, I would love to get some other, along with coven, kind of church stuff, whether that be a property or what. Again, these are not clearly defined goals. It's just sort of a dream. I would also really love at some point in time to be involved with some sort of metaphysical shop. It seems that the city I live in, we had a good standing metaphysical shop back in the 90s. It was called the Open Door, and they moved from one location to another, and things just weren't the same. I've had many conversations with other people who are in the larger pagan community or new agey community about this particular shop, and the kind of consensus is pretty much the same, is that once they moved, the vibe kind of changed. It just wasn't the same. They also moved downtown, and I am one of those people who, I live in a rural area, so I don't like to have to pay for parking. So any place that's sort of downtown and I may have to pay for parking, I'm less likely to go there. I know that people increase their traffic by moving downtown because they get foot traffic and they get people who use the bus. I drive a car. I can't take the bus necessarily as easily as I can. I still have to have a car to get to a park and ride to take the bus anywhere. So while I realize that that can be efficient as far as the financial side of things go, it's a little bit easier for me to just take my car, you know, and I just don't like to pay for parking. So unless you have a parking lot that I can park in for free, it means that this person is less likely to actually make it into that store. It also kind of corresponded with the rise of the internet, and with the rise of the internet, it means that books and such isn't the way to make it work so much anymore. You have to rethink how your business model is going to be. That's been something I've kind of been keeping in my back pocket on how I would run that particular type of business model if I were to open a shop. My biggest stopgap with that is the capital to come up with a place for that kind of shop. And certain times the transportation issues, and I would say up until fairly recently, it didn't really feel like it was possible because either busyness or the kids. And now that they're getting a little older, it feels like something that I could actually manage with help, if that makes sense. We also had a couple of different metaphysical shops that have tried to be in town. One of them was kind of within a co-op, and they had a very limited selection, and they were awesome. But again, limited selection and weird hours means that it just didn't end up having the staying power. Another one I really thought was going to go well because they were a regular bookstore in a smaller town, but it was also a college town. So they did textbooks, used textbooks, and t-shirts, sweatshirts, and stuff for that college team. And when I walked in there, I was like, oh yeah, this is a business model that's going to work because they have regular books and they're working with the college, and this is going to be awesome. And then shortly thereafter, they said, we've been in the red for a long time and we're going out of business. Plus side is they had a huge half off sale on everything. Downside is they no longer exist. So it's been a difficult thing trying to have any sort of shop actually have staying power. The closest thing we have right now is a store that's been around a long time, but they specialize in crystals and other gifts. So I think they make a lot more of their capital off of the gifty side of things, and they're a little bit less of they're like witchy light, I guess, because it's more new agey with crystals. They do have like statuary for different deity forms. They have a couple of different books. They carry a couple, like a handful of different tarot cards. They're also, I don't go there a lot because that's a pay for parking type of thing. I do stop in once in a while, but it's been quite a while since I have stopped in. Also, a big portion is that I don't necessarily need to be shopping for crystals right now. So I have a huge collection that I don't use nearly enough to its full potential, so I don't feel like I'm actively seeking that type of stuff. So I haven't been in because I haven't felt the pull, I haven't felt the need. Still love the store, love the stuff. They actually have another little shop like right across from the other one that sells like beads, incense, different things like that. I have a massive hoard of crafting supplies upstairs, so I'm not really looking for beads. I did go in there a couple of years back and got like all the stuff for a necklace. It's really awesome, but I realized that some of my thought processes on that are kind of part of the problem when it comes to some of these smaller businesses, because I do a lot of shopping online. Part of this is also because it's travel time that I have to take into consideration. And if I can prime it to my door in 2 days and I don't have to fight crowds, you know, I know that that is sort of an issue. Whatever, different people have different reasons for doing different things that they do. But we are kind of working towards getting something going. I don't think it will be a shop yet. But that hopefully will be a way to bring in and keep it afloat is the hope and the goal and the dream there. I think that about covers it. You know, a lot of my goals prior have revolved around family and different things along those lines. So, I mean, those are still goals. I have a couple of years until my youngest is actually 18 and can officially fly solo. Um, I'm not the type of parent that's like, you're 18, you're out. As my 18-year-old is still here, because that's really what's best for her right now. It allows her to focus on her school stuff and focus on if she wants to save up to try and get her own place, whatever it allows for that. So that's I mean, that's a big goal, is getting them all through high school, right? Getting them all into college is a big goal and dream, especially as it comes to my oldest son, who is almost 16. We're having some struggles there with the school stuff, and so I'm working on that. I think that does about cover the hopes and dreams and sorts of things in the sphere of Madhouse Witch and her world. But I thought that a little dream jar would be a fun start. It's because I just happened to stumble upon it when I was looking for something else. And I thought, that's today's topic, so I will include that. So I will see you again tomorrow. Same bat channel. Might be a different time though, because I'm not setting these for a specific time every day. I'm just making sure that I get at least 15 minutes in to do the daily vlog. See you tomorrow. Bye.